Devin Bright. Currently, I'm the assistant principal at BJ Smith Elementary. I am an aspiring principal. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys on how I build self-efficacy in our second and third grade PLC facilitators. And thank you guys for coming today. We really appreciate it. So here are our Smith Pop Stars. So these are the individuals that helped us with this project. We had our second grade PLC facilitator, Ms. Bailey Giddings, our third grade PLC facilitator, Ms. Miranda Burson, and we used two of our Smith IoT members, Mark Thomas, who is our CIS, and also Victoria Zapian, who is our instructor. Here's our campus mission. At BJ Smith, our mission is to empower students to develop ownership of their learning and promote self-worth by modeling positive relationships that foster unity and excellence to prepare them for real-world experience. This is where we love, grow, and achieve. Now, I want to focus a little bit on the word grow. If you guys look right here, you see I got a beautiful green tree here sprouting up and growing. I want you guys to remember this tree because I am going to refer back to it in a couple slides, okay? Now, data versus intuition. We know as principals, data drives almost every decision that we make, but also it's important to have intuition as an administrative leader as well. Some things data doesn't have to tell you at all. You can just pick it up and see it for yourself. I thought about our PLCs when I thought about this. I want you guys to look at this picture here. Before the PLC, this is some of my teachers. They're clammy, they're sweating, they're nervous, they have all this anxiety, right? And then this is them after the PLC. Thank you, Lord. We made it, we got through it. This is them. As a people first leader, I see this and I'm like, what is going on? What is causing this much anxiety in our teachers? And so one of the things that we decided to do as a campus is create a focus group. We took our PLC facilitators and some of our grade level individuals in second and third grade and had them kind of sit in. And we asked the question, what is going on? What are some of the things that are causing your anxiety? What are some of the things that are going good? Or what are some of the things that are going negative to cause you to feel that way when you come into our PLCs and leave our PLCs? Some of the quotes that we got from that focus group, it really stuck with me. Again, I'm a people first leader, so some of these really stuck a knife in my heart, to be honest with you guys, all right? I feel judged whenever I come into this room. I plan for modeling weekly as if I'm planning for a T-test observation. This is the one that really got me. I often leave out, still not knowing how I'm going to teach certain concepts. Now we know the purpose of the PLC is for us to collaborate and discuss how we're going to teach the content. So the fact that we weren't doing the bare basics, it was something that definitely sit well with us. Now we also had quotes from our IoT members. Most of these teachers are unprepared when they come into the PLC. If we don't run the meeting, we would just be sitting in silence the entire time. The lessons they deliver is nothing like what they demonstrated in the PLC. Now remember, I showed you guys that beautiful green tree earlier, right? We pride ourselves on growth. Well, this is how our tree looked after these statements from our IoT team and our teachers. We're dying at the root, okay? We feel like we're doing great things. We have our agenda. We have things that are going well. But when we really stripped everything back, we had a dying tree. Our problem statement. As a campus, teachers are demonstrating low morale, limited participation, and a lack of preparedness for PLC meetings. As a result, these meetings are not fostering effective collaboration, leading to poor lesson delivery and a negative impact on student outcomes. Our problem of practice. My goal was to have 100% of our second and third grade PLCs show minimum high leverage expectations. And these were district expectations that were put out for every single PLC from before the PLC and during the PLC. We wanted our second and third graders to be, sorry, not second and third grade, but second and third grade PLC facilitators to be able to hit each component of their PLCs. By fostering a positive collaborative culture with clear agendas, structured feedback, and great level support, we will build the self-efficacy of our PLC facilitators, ultimately improving lesson delivery and student outcomes. So we developed a root cause analysis fishbowl. So again, I took some of our second and third grade PLC facilitators and some of the teachers as well and sat down with some of the IoT members. We came together and we talked and discussed what are some of the things that are going on. So I'm going to talk about a couple of root causes and how we solve those. Number one, a lack of PLC facilitator trainings. So in order to combat that, we developed monthly PLC facilitator trainings. And we had different topics at each training. One of the first trainings that we did, we just discussed what is the role of a PLC facilitator? What are you supposed to be doing to lead your team? One of the second meetings, we had them familiarize themselves with before and during the minimum high leverage expectations. They had to learn what was expected of them by the district. And when you say district, then people definitely want to do it when you put district behind things. All right? Also, one of the things that we did was recorded the observation of the exemplar PLC. So we had a group that was doing amazing, and we decided to record them and show it to the other groups who were struggling a little bit. And the things that they were able to take from it and put in their PLC was amazing. We definitely saw the difference in them seeing what was expected of them and then viewing other PLCs and adding to theirs. Our second root cause was an overload of responsibility. Most of our facilitators are nervous and scared they're going to have to do all of the work. And so one of the things that we had to convince them of is we created a PLC role delegation. So different members of their team were responsible for doing different things. So it wasn't all on them. So now we took, in a sense, that excuse away. You can't say that you're overloaded with things if we're delegating certain responsibilities to other people. So different individuals would come with CFA questions ready. Certain individuals would develop a no-show chart. So all these things were done prior to coming to the PLC, and the facilitators didn't have to do all the work. All they had to really worry about was facilitating. Root cause number 3, a lack of content knowledge. Although we do have experienced leaders who are PLC facilitators, sometimes we realize some of their content knowledge was lacking. So one of the things that we tried to do was set up time for them before they would even go to their PLC to sit with CIS, Brooke Thomas, and also their instructional coach, Ms. Victoria Zayton, and go over some of the teams that were coming up, go through the field guides, and just break down some of the information that they were going to be going over in the PLC. Root cause number 4, evaluative versus collaborative PLCs. As I stated earlier, one of the things that we created was an us versus them type of thing with our ILT and our teachers, right? And that's not what we want, especially myself again as a people first leader. And so one of the things that we had to do was talk to our ILT members about the way they give feedback in the PLCs. There were 6 things that we focused on. I'm only going to talk about a couple due to time. But one of the first things is let the facilitator facilitate. We're doing these meetings and we're building them up with facilitator trainings. Why are we constantly interrupting? Let them facilitate the meeting. Get out of the way. Also, again, stop interrupting. We pride ourselves on our campus of teachers who model here at PLC. So they model different portions of the lesson cycle of lessons that are coming up. And a lot of times our IoT members, while the teachers are modeling, are jumping in and saying, you probably want to do this, you probably want to do that, as they're giving the lesson. So if you guys were jumping in as I'm giving this, interrupting me, I would feel flustered as well. And so that's something that we had to change. Also, one of the things that we focus on is giving PLC feedback to the facilitator and not always the grade level. And when we say that is, we're raising our PLC facilitators to be leaders. So sometimes we would give that information to everybody, and hey, we can give that information to the PLC facilitator and they can disseminate it to the team. That's also fostering leadership and leadership. Now, I talked about earlier intuition versus data. I'm not going to sleep on how important data is. One of the first things that we did was a facilitator survey. So I gave up a survey to my facilitators and had them discuss and go over, did the things that we put in place affect them? Did it make them better? And overwhelmingly, I'm not going to go over each question, they agreed. I want to go over a couple of quotes because to me they're powerful. Ms. Bailey Giddings said, "It has helped me by allowing me to collaborate with other grade level leaders and provide feedback which I can adapt and incorporate into my own meetings." Ms. Burson said, "One of the biggest changes in myself has been my ability to effectively delegate tasks and assign responsibilities to my team. I've learned to trust my team members with specific roles and hold them accountable for completing their designated tasks, which has not only lightened my workload, but also empowered my colleagues to take ownership of their contributions." That's beautiful, right? Again, when he's seeing this, I'm reading this, I'm like, yes, what we're doing is starting to work. Now, the next set of data is even more beautiful, okay? We talked about student outcomes. I want us to focus a little bit on DCP tests, the district checkpoints. And we're talking about our 2nd and 3rd graders. So this is math and this is reading. I want us to look at 3 different performance levels. So percent score, satisfactory performance level, and advanced. If you notice, we see green here. This is showing from DCP1 to DCP2 the growth that we had. Now, we're going to ignore this red right here for the positivity of the meeting, all right? But for the most part, we're seeing growth in second grade, okay? Also in third grade, same exact thing. Over 16% growth in the meets, over 9% growth in the math level. In reading, we were #1 in the district, all right? #1 in the district. So we're showing immense growth in student outcomes as well. We are making sure that our PLC facilitators and our grade level individuals are learning from the mistakes that we've done in the past, and they know the content and they're able to show the content to the students. We're seeing it in our outcomes. Assessing our goal statement here. Now, I talked to you guys about us trying to have 100% of our PLC facilitators or our meetings meeting those minimum high leverage expectations. Guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, we're not at 100%. There are certain things that we're not hitting, and one of the reasons why, as I spoke about before, we model it. And so to have 4 teachers modeling the PLC takes a little bit of time. So there are some portions of the PLC that we don't get to because we are valuing the modelers. Assessing the goal statement again, one of the things that we're trying to do is, of course, build a self-efficacy of those individuals. Our PLC facilitators are now facilitating their own meetings. We do not have to facilitate. We sit there and we actually listen. We ask questions when need be, but we're able to sit and watch. It's a beautiful thing. Improve lesson delivery. When we go in and we sit and we do walkthroughs, the same thing that we're seeing in our PLCs is the same thing that we're starting to see also with their lessons. We don't see people deviating and putting on a show for us in the PLC and not doing what the students do. The things that they're modeling are the same things that we're seeing. Improve student outcomes. We just looked at the DCP. Now we're taking DCPs this week. Hopefully we continue to see a rise in the day. All right, what's next? We're going to continue the work that we're doing. We're already doing this with all grade levels, okay? So even though I focus on second and third, these are things that we're doing with everybody within our campus. We're going to continue our PLC facilitator meetings, and we're going to focus on judging some of the content and topics for next week. Also, we're going to continue using the minimum high leverage rubric to evaluate our PLCs. And lastly, we're going to develop a process to include modeling, but still incorporate all components of the PLC. So we're going to try to adjust some things to make sure we cover everything and still work. Thank you guys again. I have our QR code here. Please give me feedback. Deposit, take but thank you guys for